If you're a beginner baker, what are the most basic tools that you need to get started? I'm going to answer that question as quickly as I can. No particular order, because this is going to be a little bit of a free flow thought. Okay, here we go. So I've already shared with you the acrylic sheets that I use for my blue tape labels. Blue painter's tape is what I like to use. You want to make sure that you don't buy the tape that has the manufacturer's brand on it, because some of them do. I like a blue tape. That doesn't mean you can't use the green tape or a pink tape, but I like blue tape, and this costs 50 cents. It's from the hardware store. I always print out my recipes because I like to keep them at my work table. Plastic sheet protector is amazing. Of course, I have a label maker. I also have a wider one that's 1 inch wide. I buy binders. I get all white. I think it looks nice. So if you have a color you like, get all one color. It creates a uniformity. I highly recommend that you buy gloves, but you can get these anywhere. I get them on Amazon. I have small hands. I get a small. Please don't touch food that's ready to eat without gloves. Kitchen shears. Do these say kitchen shears? No. I buy these at the craft store. And when they get dull and gross, I just buy another one, and they're not expensive. A lot of you have asked about my scoopers or dishers. This is by Vollrath. It's number 12, but it's for righties. If you're a lefty, and my condolences, tools are not made for you, and it is a challenge. This is going to be really hard to work with at work. Look at this. You're doing a bunch, that's gonna be hard. This is what you're looking for. This is what it would look like, and they make them for bigger ones. And you can get it in all different sizes. This is my favorite cookie size, the green number 12. They'll last forever. Are a multitude of spatulas, and ThermoWorks has heat resistant spatulas, and these have a round side and a square side. If you're using something for the corner, if you're working and folding with the bowl, you're going to want a curve. Really small, medium and large, a real microplane. Make sure it's a zesting microplane so you can do very fine work. A 4-inch offset spatula. This is the most important tool in my kitchen. Okay, it's offset because it gives you a nice angle on things. Natural bristle pastry brushes, you choose the width depending on the job. So a mini digital scale. It doesn't matter what brand, this is the one I have. Anything you scale under 20 grams, you're going to want a mini scale. Anything you're scaling up to 10 pounds, you're going to want a different digital scale. I like the Edland. You should always have Sharpies on hand. You want a whisk that's got a nice, soft bend to it. And then you want maybe a narrower one that's got more of a firm feel to it. Having a clear ruler is easy to keep clean. These are acrylic. You can get them anywhere. And I use them often for a lot of things. So I really like a French tapered pin. Because of the width in the middle, you're able to drive the wider parts of your doughs. Over time, you'll see that the fats seep from the edges, cures the wood. So this is basically non-stick. It's fabulous. Pizza cutters are key to cutting a lot of kinds of doughs. So if you can just have a nice one in your pastry area, this would be great. You only technically need 2 kinds of pastry tips, a round and a star tip. I have 2 different size bags, and I buy rolls of them. So all you have to do is rip them off. A bowl scraper on hand is essential, and you want one that's flexible. It has a straight side and a curved side. A good scraper is an extension of your hand. You can pick things up right out of the bowl and transfer them and get every last bit out of there, but you can also use the square side for getting things off of a flat surface like your counter. I'm a huge fan of the King Arthur little dough scraper. It's like a bench knife, only not sharp. Speaking of bench knives, this is a real bench knife. It's made out of metal. They're meant to chop. So you want a bench scraper. It's imperative that you have a chef knife. I like to have one that has a nice feel, is a nice weight, and a good quality. But the next thing that you absolutely need is a serrated knife. When used in a sawing manner while pushing, allows the tool to do its job. A biscuit cutter. And you can get a double-sided one. This one's smooth, and this is fluted. So look for height as well as the circumference and the style, fluted or straight. 4.5 quart batch of cake batter will typically do about 3 6-inch pans, 2 8-inch pans. And these are more for cakes, so they're a 3-inch side, and that way you can fill them a little bit higher. If you've seen my brownie extravaganza, you know that I use an 8 by 8 by 3-inch heavy duty metal pan. Loaf pans are great, but they're really low and wide, so I don't enjoy that. I happen to have this Mottfur pan that I just absolutely love, and it comes in a ton of sizes. But look at how they're folded like an envelope with the rivets, and they're just heavy and beautiful, and they bake really, really nice, and they have this nice roll lip. It's just very high quality. I love more than anything else aluminum foil for pies. Now I do tend to put this onto a preheated pizza stone so that that heat can really get through here. This one probably on sale someplace. It's a really beautiful design. I've had it forever. It's not nonstick, it's not fancy, and it works like a charm. It's called a Tami, T-A-M-I-S. This is for sifting, and they come in all different sizes, and the mesh comes in different gauges, so you get to pick the kind that you want. I like to have one commercial pitcher that I can use to strain things, and I use these. They can be used as sifters or strainers, and just get them in a small, a medium, and a large. And you'll see how this fits right onto here. The last baking pan I want to talk about is a half sheet pan, okay? And then you really want to buy some flat parchment. I find that little cooling racks are much easier than the giant ones. The smaller ones are great because you can fit them into your sink for easy washing. They're modular, so you can put them together to make a bigger surface. I really like Baker's Joy. If you're not going to make a homemade pan release, works like a charm, and you can get it at any grocery store. At some point, you are going to need a timer or a thermometer, but Chef Alarm is an incredible ThermoWorks, which is where I got my spatulas from. Love them. There are two books that if you are a beginner, I highly recommend. Is How Baking Works and The Flavor Bible. So it's going to give you the words to understand what flavor is. These deli cups I use, large, 32 ounce, medium, 16, and small, 8, with lids that are sold separately, and they're sold like this in sleeves. So this is my last and final recommendation of tools for beginners, and it's going to be a little controversial, but I really firmly believe in this. A stand mixer is imperative. You can buy a stand mixer used. Look at mine. This is I kid you not, it's 29 years old. Do you see the burn mark in the back? So do you see this here? This is some kind of pin, and as I work, the vibration makes it pop out. So I have to tap it with a hammer every now and then to get it back in. The reason that I'm saying that this is controversial is because I hear from a lot of people that all they have is a hand mixer. This for me was life-changing, and let me tell you how I did it. I literally, whenever I want something expensive, I put it on a family wish list. My whole family went in on it, and it was revelatory to be able to walk away. This is designed to literally move along the edges of the bowl. If you're using a hand mixer, it's just really not doing the same thing. It's a physical reality of the physics of mixing and of making batters properly. Buy what you can, buy little bits at a time. Try to do the best deal on price. You should be on the lookout all the time for used equipment too, because garage sales oftentimes have mixers, fancy juicers. I mean, you can find a lot if you just really put your mind to it. So good luck, and let me know if there's anything I missed. Thank you.